the villains. No, they're too close together up top.
Oh my gosh! Oh shit!
You didn't expect to
Ah,
slide back.
yes. Oh my god.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tiki Talk After Show. We're going to talk about episode 2 of Survive the Island season 3. A lot went down, so we got a lot to talk about. Here with Mischief, season 2 winner. What's up, Mischief?
Hi, I'm Mischief.
There you go. Really smooth with that one. You're like
Thank you.
talking to a girl. You're have a crush
Hey
on or
man, that's
something, I
how
don't
that's
know.
how I get them. Works every time.
Awkward Riz. All right, so we had a lot go down. I want to start with we might as well start with the elephant in the room. Mango very clearly had a shift week to week. They seemed kind of vibey, but a little off. And this week, they were already starting to scheme a backstab. Growler and Love Winds kind of built an alliance and wanted to get Mystery out. But what
Yep.
went down was Growler won immunity and was safe for the 3v3, so he didn't even have a chance to play in them. So, what's your read on that decision so early in the game going for something like that? What was your thoughts?
It's interesting. I know I talked about it a little bit last week, but it's interesting to see how, you can make an alliance in this game, but you're also putting your neck on the line. And although it was a solid alliance between Growler and Love Wins, both players from past seasons. They have a lot of chemistry together. But Growler taking himself out, choosing to save himself, I mean, it really does kind of put Love Wins a little bit on the hot spot, especially when you have players like Prime, who's a demon, and then you have Mystery, who he can get mixy sometimes. So there was definitely a lot of stuff kind of brewing over in the Mango side, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of drama. So it was really interesting to watch real time. Uh, but I mean, hell of a week. Definitely did not expect, such a reaction out of myself. Week 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's about as close to a backstab shock as you can get. We bring in the 1v1 elimination game to take away the straight up, hey, you're performed the worst, because everyone has a bad week here and there, and it makes it so much more interesting for the drama of it. So Mango has a rough week. They only won Search and Destroys. They couldn't do anything in the respawn. Prime looked good at points. We can talk about him a little bit later. But Love Wins and Mystery go into the 1v1 elimination. And like I said, with Love Wins being a part of Growler's scheme, I think everyone in their head's thinking, well, she's ready for this. This is kind of what they wanted. And then Mystery just comes out and absolutely rips, and I mean, pretty comfortably as far as 1v1s go, was able to walk away with it, and he's now safe on a Mango team with all that drama brewing going into next week.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. Were you shocked? I assume you were, but
I cannot lie. I was 100% shocked. First off, I want to give a shout out. It was such an amazing matchup. I think it was Reflect and Prime. I mean, going tit for tat, shot for shot. Both of the guys. I don't know if viewers noticed this, but throughout 2 of the respawns, I believe, out of 6 players, only 2 of them went positive in the kill department, and that was actually Prime and Reflect. So I mean, at the end of the day, all love to Team Mango, but you got to question the other 2 players besides Prime. You got to turn around and be like, you kind of did this to yourself. And Reflex team was no different. D-Boon, I believe, won immunity. And then, Orphan and Bitch to Kill, they just weren't kind of matching expectations. And Morphin is a really wild card player, and I do think he is the X factor on that team. But hell, man, like when Mango lost, I was kind of not shocked, but dumbfounded that it was like, all right, shit, they kind of did that to themselves. You can't exactly put everything on Prime. Same thing with Twilight, you can't put everything on Reflect, but they did come out on top. In terms of Mystery and Love Wins, that 1v1, it was a massive shock, but it's like I loved it because that's the name of the game this season. There's going to be a lot of shocking moments. You can't just always rely on gun skill. You can't always just rely on vibes. And Mystery played the game super smart, and that's really all I could say about it. I think you can use a lot of excuses, but I mean, Mystery knew how to play it, man. He was playing, ratty and sneaky, and it seemed like he had an idea. Like, all right, in a straight up 1v1 gunfight, he might lose, but if he plays, the right angles, takes the right routes, gets the right timing, he can come up on top, hide a little bit, and he did it, man. Fucking kudos to him. Good for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was both shocked and like amazed, and also pretty hyped for Mystery. I mean, he came out and he did the damn thing. So props to him. And as far as Growler now, that leaves him in kind of isolation because he forms an alliance with somebody that immediately gets eliminated. To that though, before we get onto the other teams, Love Wins was up for a hidden immunity idol, and so that was our second challenge for the season. How do you think that went? Obviously, we set that up to have Love Wins going
Yeah,
forward, and she wasn't able to get it.
yeah, when we constructed it, I thought it was a pretty solid task to get the immunity. I remember we talked about Sarah last week and her immunity challenge, and we kind of debated like, all right, you get offered immunity. If you go home on, an immunity offer, is it your fault? What did you do wrong and stuff? Um, Again, Loveland's task was, I would say, pretty simple. I think or so I thought. I kind of thought she had it in the bag. I thought she would win immunity and have the option to use it this week. It was your first kill on every map just has to be with the pistol, and then you could switch back to whatever gun you're using. Um, and again, I don't know where it happened. Maybe you can elaborate on it, but somewhere it went wrong. I don't know what happened. I was really shocked with that.
Yeah, so she just completely forgot map 2, rip somebody with the AR, and that was that. I mean, these challenges are simple in nature, but the challenge is you're still trying to win. So you kind of, I think, lose sight of it, and that's where these things get odd. Do you just focus on that so you guarantee your safety, or do you lose sight of it because you're trying to win the game? And that's kind of been the challenge these guys have been facing. It's getting interesting, and I do wonder, is there a bit of a curse brewing, because that's back to back weeks for the idol offeree there.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. Each person that was offered immunity got eliminated, and it's kind of like, during my season, right? If an immunity was in front of me, I fought tooth and nail to get it, and I had an alliance with Styx, so although we were in an alliance, my attitude was I need the immunity for myself. That is the only thing that's going to secure me to, next week, secure me in the game. I did get lucky with Styx kind of saving himself. But again, like I said, I fought tooth and nail to get every immunity that was ever offered, and it worked out in my favor. So it's kind of mind-boggling to me that you know these two people are offered immunity. Basically, you complete the challenge, you can possibly use it and be spared for a full week.
Mhm.
Or let's say your team isn't even up for elimination. I mean, you save it.
Right.
It's a get out of jail free card. So I think it should be the most sought after item in the game. And seeing two people go home on the weeks where they were offered it, it's you know I understand people, their heads in the game, and they want to grind the game, win it for their team. Um, but I think that kind of surpasses that. This is like above that. You want that immunity. That's always the perfect cushion for you. Um, so again, I don't know if I have to blame the immunity curse, if I blame the players, but I'm hoping in the upcoming weeks, if one does pop up, hopefully players start thinking about if they want to take advantage of it. But it's shocking how it's gone down.
And
What do you think?
I think that it's gonna lead to a bigger focus on it from the players. I mean, I know the Sarah Love one was fairly known. I don't know about Love Wins, but I mean, you got to think like, hey, if I'm offered this, this is number one priority from now on. Because, like you said, you could literally, it's not even, your team could be safe for the next 3 weeks, but it could save you and get you closer to the finale. Because everyone has an off week at some point. I think that's been proven. I mean, even you had a fairly dominant run, but early on, you still could have used something like that if it came down to it. I think your
Oh,
team was luckily good
100%.
enough, but like you had a bad week here and there. And so it's like for some of these people, if they don't play for it or if they just forget, obviously it can come back and bite you. Whether that's a
Exactly.
curse or not. I mean, I think it's just bad luck, but we'll see how it goes. If the rest of the season pans out the same way, we
hmm
might have to declare the
But
curse.
again, it was definitely very shocking this week to see Love Wins like going home. Just 'cause that was just not in the cards for me. I thought she would at least make top six, top
Hmm.
seven, and just again being the coming in 11th place.
Yeah, I mean
Just
she's never gone out below. I mean, she's made top 8 every time. So this is
yeah,
definitely a
I
low
would
point
just
for
say
her.
yeah, like other players, I do think need to start kind of reflecting. Not a pun, but I think they need to start kind of realizing, okay, not everyone is safe, no matter how good your gun skill is or
Right.
your social skills. You kind of have to be very careful because you
And
know
a
whether it comes down
1v1
to a
can
one
get
v
you.
one or
Yeah.
that's it. And again, you don't know who has an immunity besides yourself. So if someone else pulls out that immunity, damn, you might be going up against a beast. Or like what just happened this week. Again, it's all strategy and how people play the game. You can't solely rely on gun skill in these 1v1s. You never know what's going to pop up and you never know what the twist is.
Yeah. And you brought up reflecting. Let's talk about reflectory. He's kind of taken the, let's say, season 3 favorite to the next level. I mean, Growler obviously was safe this week. We didn't get to see him. But Reflectory has really looked good. Prime as well. But let's talk about Team Twilight a little bit. Reflectory, I mean, they go 2-0 and he looked insane. I mean, I couldn't
I mean,
believe it really. It was
you know what? I called it. I called it. I called it. I called it. Um, yeah, I mean, the dude had a great showing throughout all the maps, and it just felt like he was honestly putting the team on his back. And that's no disrespect to Orphan or Bitch to Kill. I think they're great players, but they weren't showing up and they weren't playing as well. And I think again in a game where you can lose and lose another game and just straight up go home, that's it, you're done. I think they need to be nervous. What I really need out of that team is I just really need Orphan to kind of start showing me how good of a player he is. I know he's a
mhm.
great player. Um, but I don't know. I think his mind's in the clouds. Something's going on. But the dude's a fantastic player, and I've said this before. He is an X factor. If he's doing well, that team will succeed, and he will make it far in the game. But if he gets lazy and he starts to drop, but that team can burn. But Reflect, man, kudos to him. I mean, him and Prime were going shot for shot, man. It was, dude, it was like watching a boxing match. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
but
Prime definitely took a step up as well this week. Um, I mean, I knew he would be good, but I don't think. I mean, we kind of did in our preseason, but not a lot of people would say, "Oh yeah, I'd put Prime top 2, top 3 kind of category." And I think he's getting there. Um, so I mean, good for him. I think he's definitely taken a step up. But I do want to kind of wrap up with a team that I don't know. Tiki, I love everyone on the team, and they do have good chem. It seemed like you got Siege and Morg working well together, but their search and destroy looks like the worst thing I've seen in a while. They didn't win one. They were able to avoid elimination. They split, beat Mango, but yeah, their search and destroy did not look good, and
yeah,
you're gonna need
you
that
know,
down the line.
what I notice is Siege is a very fundamental and smart player. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play his life, and he's learned a lot. Like this game is definitely kind of like like one of his peaks for sure from what I've seen from him. And the fact that Morgan is doing with him and he's kind of showing her the ropes and teaching her, I love that because you can kind of see her improvement as well from the last week. Marv is a big question mark. I played with him previously, and it kind of seems like the same mistakes I've had with him or I've seen in past seasons are still apparent. Um, Again, it's odd. I've watched a couple of the matches, and he gets a little too kill hungry.
Hmm.
Um, he has a not so great blooded statistic. I mean, he gets blooded a lot. I think he gets overzealous. So I think if he gets a first blood, he turns around and just throws his life away. Like he'll just give it up
Hmm.
and chow the next guy because he wants that sick two piece or he wants those, that extra buff. But it's it's a weird dynamic because you have kind of like the mentor and the mentee between Siege and Morg, and then you just have the big question mark where it comes down to Marv, and it's like, what is he doing? Is he helping the team or is he costing them? And it seems like a lot of the time he's putting them in a position of a 2v2. Uh, but no, their S&D is just not something to be proud of. It just wasn't good. Um, we'll see in the upcoming weeks if they work on it. But I do think the person that does need to change their game style if they want to win games is Marv. Now, in terms of him kind of protecting himself, I can't speak on it. I don't know what his long term plan is, but I mean, we'll see. But they they got to change something up. They have to fix it.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, who knows how it's gonna work out long term, but I think it's gonna come into play at some point. Now, whether it's this coming week or not, I don't know because I mean, they are at a somewhat advantage because they're playing as a three stack. They're getting reps together, and they're going into what will be another 3v3 week as a tribe. So it'll be interesting to see how next week plays out for them. Um, there's a lot going on right now behind the scenes, and so that's why we do these after shows to try to add some stuff to the episodes and also let you guys in on a little bit of what we're thinking and summarize the week for everybody. Is there anything that we're forgetting about before we wrap up the episode?
I mean, yeah, no, in general, Team Tiki is interesting. They're still vibey, they're still active, so they have, you know, they're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so I'm sure more stuff is going to come out in the future weeks. Team Mango, again, you have that bit of I wouldn't say rivalry, but you have that bit of distaste between Growler and Mystery after that failed alliance and that you know Love wins elimination. And Twilight again, just keeping it up with their kind of go in, fucking get the job done and get the hell out. They're very mechanical and I mean, so far they're doing very well, but again, if everyone has seen it, it's a solo game. So eventually that boat's gonna sink, and we need to see where they swim to.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be next Sunday at 8 Eastern. Our show comes on right after. We'll catch you up on everything that happened in the episode, and yeah, that's gonna do it for us here in episode 2.